Steps up, looks, fires late over the left side of the end zone. Touchdown, Chris Hogan. Back line of the end zone had disengaged from Cannon Sullivan, and the Saints increase their lead to 23.
All right, welcome back, 41 North Pod, talking Green Bay Packers. It was obviously a rough week one for Green Bay Packer Nation. The 41 North Pod, we really missed our predictions in week one. Mario, what do you think of the game?
I thought it was a shit show, Trevor. I thought this was the worst game plan I've ever seen from Matt. I think it was the worst game I ever seen from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he did have like a couple good throws, but I mean, for the most part, it was a fucking shit show. I predicted a score of 42-10, and that score was fucking flipped. Our offense looked like shit. They couldn't get shit going. I mean, I thought the offensive line played pretty good. I just think we looked like shit. I think the biggest thing was, for some reason, we thought we were just going to go out on the field and score like 50 points just because we're the Packers. They haven't been home for 2 weeks.
It was discouraging to see the Matt LaFleur coach team come out like this, especially week one. You'd like to think you'd be the most excited for week one. I like what John Kuhn said, or basically like we're 0-4 now in the preseason, and now we got to start the season here behind the 8 ball a little bit. It was a rough game. I could have made a million reasons why. I mean, we talked a couple of podcasts about why the Packers were a good team and why they're going to beat the Saints, and I couldn't make many arguments for the Saints. And so, I mean, shout out to them. They came in with a better game plan. They came out more hyped for the game, wanted more. And I think it just snowballed and kind of they got steamrolled, which can happen in the NFL. You don't like to think it happens to Matt LaFleur coach teams, but that was a rough one.
I think what it really proved to me, I think I was more thinking that without Drew Brees, they were going to take a step back. But it just really showed to me how good of a coach Sean Payton really is. He had them boys ready. They were flying around. They had a game plan. They stuck to it. And they really threw the Packers off on every side of the ball besides our special team. I mean, surprising. I mean, our special team actually played pretty good. They were the star of the show.
Yeah, the punter looked good. Special teams didn't play bad, which was nice to see. It's really frustrating when the offense can't get into any kind of rhythm and, a lot of 3-and-outs, and the defense can't get off the field and things just kind of got out of hand quickly. Especially rough to see when your team's getting beat so badly. I mean, we're taking starters out and we're playing the second string because the game's over with.
Not in the last 2 minutes, pretty much the whole fourth quarter, which is...
Well, the game was decided by the third quarter. I mean, they only had they had 12 plays on offense going into the last minute of the second quarter. It's hard to get anything going when you're just 3-and-out. So I don't take too much away from this. You got a lot of Packer Nation overreacting. And, the casual NFL fan, I've seen a lot of fire Barry. I've seen a lot of put in love. I've seen a lot, So you're going to see that with the Packers. I start to get worried if we see that again in another week. I'm not, it's not good to see. Obviously, it was a rough start, and what's still going to be a championship season. I don't see this I still feel good about the team. I still feel like they're a better roster than the Saints. I mean, we just got steamrolled week one. So if we get steamrolled 2 weeks or we come off flat again, yeah, maybe we could start asking some questions and there could be a little more rumblings about what's going on. But I don't see it happening again. Listening to Rodgers talk, listening to LaFleur talk, they're not, as long as people inside the building keep an even keel and they're not going too up or down, that's what you need. I don't care about the analysts and the people saying whatever about the Packers. It does suck listening to all the crap all week and whatever. I'd listen to it from the Saints. They had a good game. They came with a good game plan. Sean Payton is a good coach. I'm excited to see what Winston does. He looked good against the Packers. He only threw a few times, but he didn't have to do a whole lot with 5 touchdowns. But I think, like Roger said today, you put this behind you, and we're on to week 2. And we're going to be there cheering them on, and I think you're going to see a much different Packers team, I hope, week 2. I mean, what LaFleur's never lost back-to-back games as being a Packers
Never,
coach.
never lost back to back.
Don't expect it to happen coming back to Lambeau week 2, our first home game.
Well, they just better get it going. I mean, we got 2 primetime games coming up. We got the Monday nighter at home against Detroit, and then we go to Sunday Night Football at San Francisco. So, I mean, we don't have very fast to figure it out. San Francisco looks like they're back to normal with 13. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out what this team has to offer real quick here. We play a very tough schedule. And I think maybe this ass kicking kind of was an eye opener for us to know that, we can't just go out there and just because we've been to back-to-back NFC championships that it's just going to happen again. We just go out there, offense going to be flying around, and we come up with these mediocre game plans. I think it was a good reality check for everybody because, like me and you've been talking about for every episode, this is a talented football team. I don't think that changed. We have some major corrections to figure out on the D line. I'm hoping that TJ can pick it up. I understand that they were out there a lot. It was hot. That takes a lot of energy out there, especially when your offense is out there for 30 seconds. So,
well, I know it was frustrating for Packer fans feeling they're not seeing any improvement on the D, but I mean we'll find out when the. So, I mean, I worry about the D. I worry a little bit about the offense, but I think if Rodgers doesn't put up another complete stinker, offense is going to be fine. I was encouraged what I seen at the offensive line, especially starting the 2 rookies. The pass protection wasn't horrible. You like to see the run blocking a little bit better, but the defense is kind of where I worry a little bit more. Jair still looks like a stud. He almost erases the guy. He had a couple catches on Jair, that's to be expected, but I mean, overall, the guy's,
I think the run blocking was good. A.J. Dillon averaged 5 yards a carry. I just don't think we gave him the opportunity to run the ball. I think we just kind of got away from that early, got to passing the ball, and
LaFleur talked a lot
we
about.
were down. So I think there was a lot of mistakes. I think we kind of rushed the gun, got it's like almost we got shell shocked. We got hit so quick, so hard, so fast, and then we just switched up who we were. And
you seem to get away from him a little bit. LaFleur talked a lot about he wanted to run the ball more. He wanted to stay more committed to it. But I do worry about the defense, like you said, besides Kenny Clark. I seen a little bit out of Kiki I liked. But other than that, I mean, Lancaster does not bring much to the table. I'm not a huge Lowry fan either.
I agree.
We didn't do a whole lot to upgrade our inside linebackers. He brought in Campbell, and he played, I guess, okay. I'd expect more out of him. They're really, I think, banking on that leap from Chris Barnes, and he was okay as well. I didn't see nothing but it was a rough day for the defense all around. You'd like to see more out of the new offensive coordinator, and I hope to see that this week against the Lions.
Defensive coordinator.
The defensive coordinator, yes.
Yeah.
The team sounds like they're still sold on him, but, fans are going to get soured real quick.
It's Packer fans. Packer fans, they're the type, when we win a game, we're going to the Super Bowl. When we lose a game, we might not win a game, another year. Rodgers threw 2 picks. We got to move on. He's done. He's washed. We missed our opportunity. So I don't take a big look into what Packer fans have to say because I know what this team has to offer.
We do have to address the, missed call in the 41 North. I guess you could have the 41 North pod standing behind Kevin King. I guess you kind of know what to expect out of him. You can't keep coming up with excuses for the guy.
I agree.
At the end of the day, maybe he isn't the number 2 corner like we kind of thought and expected. You got to wonder why Stokes didn't get a whole lot of reps. You got to wonder how long they'll watch the big plays come against King before they start to see what they got in the rookie. I would like to hope to see more of them this week personally.
Well, they even were paying Sullivan over
Stokes.
Over Stokes.
You knew that was coming.
A lot.
Yeah.
So I think he's a rookie. This is kind of the Packer way. If you hear Jair talk, He started at the nickel. He wasn't even really playing like that his first couple games as a rookie, and then he was out there making plays. They had to put him in. So he spoke on that before, and I think, like you said, if Kevin King keeps making these mistakes, and it's looking to be like Kevin King is kind of the player that he is, I think he just has too much damn talent to be this bad. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if he just takes play. I don't know what it is. His effort's not there. I don't know what
Well,
it is.
after having that one in the NFC Championship, and it's like, okay, how much did coaching come? What was the call? But then seeing it again come week one, I'm off the Kevin King wagon.
I'm just gonna. I'm not totally off of it yet, because it was just a horrible game overall. It wasn't like he was the only one. So I'm just hoping that this was just like fourth preseason, some shit, and everybody can the whole can get it going next week.
I'm on the record. I want see more Stokes and less Kevin King.
I'm not ready to jump off that bandwagon yet.
Okay.
After 1 week, I'm not gonna be like a regular Packer fan and overreact over little stuff.
Not
because
too little,
but my guy Matt has plenty faith in him, and I'm a big Matt guy, and Matt I trust.
Yeah, well, we'll be there rooting him on at Lambeau this Monday, and it'll be interesting to see what outside of Jair, what we get out of our cornerbacks. Definitely on the Elton Jenkins bandwagon. Played very solid at tackle, and that is. We're already paying one tackle that's going to come back soon. Some of the top offensive line money in the league. And now it's looking like we have another one that could easily slide out to tackle. Do you see them, once Bakhtiari comes back, potentially moving him to right tackle and, shifting up the right side of the line? Or do you see him still holding down the interior and wanting, probably playing next to Bakhtiari again on our left side?
Yeah, I see Elton going to left guard personally.
And I think Turner, he could play. He plays guard and tackle pretty. He's okay at each.
Yeah. I think our offensive line played good. Rodgers said he thought our offensive line played good. I see him. I didn't see him really getting hit too much. He was kind of doing his old, hold on to the ball situation a little bit. His releases just seemed a little bit late. He was about, 3 seconds late on a pass to Aaron Jones across the middle that would have went for a first down, but we ended up being stopped short. I think we went for it and got it anyways, but it just seemed off. It didn't seem in rhythm. It didn't seem like Aaron Rodgers and the Packers with Matt calling the plays. It didn't look like that to me.
Yeah, you like to see improvement there for sure. Rodgers seemed a little bit of 2018 mode, I think.
Offense looked 2018 mode as well.
So, the offense is discouraging. Defense is very discouraging. And you'd like to see him turn around against the Lions. The Lions put up a little bit of fight against the Niners.
I kind of disagree with that. I think the offense was a little bit more disappointing than the defense to me, because the defense was out there over and over again. The offense couldn't do anything.
If you're like me, you weren't. Not expecting a whole lot out of a Packers defense. We're not going to be top 5 in points scored against us, or points, or
I think we have the capability
yards against us. I think we have the capability, but that just hasn't been the Packers over the last 10, 15 years. We've had some defenses that were opportunistic with turnovers, and
we haven't had elite players like Jair in the past and things like that. And when we did, we won Super Bowl. So,
that's true. We got some good players, but I just worry about those holes on our defense. And you like to think that the run defense is not going to be too much of a factor in a lot of games this year. You've seen San Francisco do it to us, where teams that can keep it close or play ahead of us, I think that's going to be rare. I think, the luxury of being able to run against the Packers is not going to be afforded to many teams when we're I expect this offense to start clicking, and we're going to score some points at some point. Where we had too much talent not to. So I don't think teams are going to be able to be closer, ahead of us, where they're going to be able to continue to run the ball the whole game. You
I
can't.
agree.
You can't continue the run the ball script when you're down 14 points.
Exactly.
The offensive play calling. So hopefully that glosses over our weakness of run defense a little bit, and hopefully our defensive backfield can play good and get some of those turnovers, and we get some rush. We're much better at rushing than we are at stopping the run.
And I think that's the biggest thing when it comes into looking at our defense and how our defense is built. It's built to play with the lead and really get after the quarterback. Um, so I think it's just different when our offense can't do anything, and you're down there playing in the heat, and you're constantly on the field. I mean that takes a toll on the defense for sure.
So, with the inaugural podcast, the inaugural season, the first ever season of the 41 North Pod, we started this. We talk Packers every day. Mario calls me, I call Mario. We go to a ton of games. I mean, there's not much more hardcore fans than there is. So we decided to kind of, record some of our conversations, bring you this season, because we both felt this is going to be a historic, special season. And I don't feel any differently. I know a lot of Packers Nations out there is pretty down. It took me till probably Monday, mid-morning, to really come to grips with what happened on Sunday. But I am not. We're still documenting our championship season, in my opinion. Rodgers talked about, he got some text talking about the Bucks also lost to the Saints by the same score week 1 last year, and I think
week eight.
Week eight. Okay. And when it happens, even the best teams in the NFL, not as often, but sometimes you just catch one of those days where, whatever reason, Rodgers said the energy was low.
Things just don't go your way.
You don't like to see it low for week 1, but it is what it is. Sometimes it just you don't got that mojo, and it just kind of showed week 1.
I honestly don't even think it was. I mean, I think it was the mojo factor, but I also think it was the fact that we just kind of thought we were really good, and not saying that we're not really good. I think we thought we could just like kind of go out there and put the uniform on. We're playing the Saints. They got Jameis.
Yeah, you'd have
they
liked to see.
haven't been home, and they just laid an egg. They just laid an egg.
You'd have liked to see with how much better leadership the Packers have this year, that you'd like to see that not happen, obviously. But I mean, I think we'll get past week 1. Saints are not a bad team by any means. We both said Sean Payton's a great coach. It's interesting, actually, that he was one of the candidates when we hired McCarthy. I would. So either one, McCarthy got us a ship, but I mean, Sean Payton wouldn't have been too shabby either.
No, I would have loved to seen him with Favre and Rodgers.
Always respected, yeah. Always respected Sean Payton. But as far in the long run, you still seen, a lot of the guys that really know football, the analysts that I kind of respect more, are like, yeah, the Packers still going to be there at the end, and that I see the same thing. There's too much talent. As long as Rodgers doesn't put up some 2018 stinkers, I mean, I think even if he does, we got a good enough team to get over that. I mean, you don't like to see him come out flat like they did. As long as we come out and play our game, I mean, we're going to be in every game this year, I believe.
100%.
We got that out of our system, which is good. They've been known to, go dead for a half, go dead for, a quarter here and there. And hopefully we got a lot of that out this week, and we kind of know what it takes again. So I'm looking forward to week 2. What do you see in the Lions? What do you think about the Lions week 1? Any other notes from week 1 that you want to discuss?
I mean, really, when it comes to the Lions, if we don't win by 30 points after what we just had, I'm kind of worried.
Yeah,
I'm kind of worried because I expect our defense to get a couple turnovers against Goff. They look like they could run the ball, though, so that's kind of worrisome. But
Jamal Williams,
hopefully we step it up.
We're all Jamal Williams fans, and he looked pretty good. Hopefully we can stop him. He brings another factor out of the backfield as far as catching the ball too. We know, but I mean, the Packers defense should kind of know what to expect out of him. Goff doesn't scare anybody. I mean, we said the same thing about Winston, but I'm expecting a much different game, especially from that Lambeau crowd. Me and brother Troy going to that. I mean, we'll get you some videos. Hopefully Mario will be up there. We'll be tailgating. It's going to be an awesome atmosphere. I'm hoping Packer Nation's not too down on this team because we're still on a path to the championship here, and I hope everybody, they'll start to appreciate it again this week. You see what Rodgers said today on the, McAfee show, where, we deserve the, licks we're getting right now and what, the shit they're talking to the media and stuff because we did get our asses whooped, but that's going to flip real soon. We're going to be on the other end of that, and the stupid power rankings and all the meaningless shit the media does, you'll start to see it, the stuff that gets Packer fans all riled up. You'll start to see some more positive things pretty soon here. I like us against the Lions, and that San Francisco game the following week is going to be very tough. I'm not looking ahead of the Lions at all, but week 2, first game at Lambeau, I mean, I'm pumped. I hope the Packers are going to be pumped, and I expect Rodgers to come out there and put a much better performance on. I liked his the demeanor he's been having this week after the loss. It doesn't seem like they got too down about it. They still know that, we're okay. So that's what I like to see.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think most of it was game plan. The game plan was shit on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, LaFleur definitely was disappointed himself in that one.
So, I mean, I think we got hit in our mouths, and we're gonna see what type of team we really are. And the NFL kind of gave us a break, and we got the Lions. And we just have to go ahead and make it count.
Yeah, and I mean, the schedule is not easy, but like we both predicted, I mean, this Packer team should not lose many games, and it doesn't. People may think the opposite right now after that rough week 1, and I mean, I would even argue the Packers put up the worst performance in the NFL week 1. I mean, there wasn't many more disappointing performances than with the Pack. I mean, so yeah, fans are down this week, but I'm not. We're still, chasing the championship, in my opinion, and I'm pumped for Monday.
I mean, the last 2 NFC championship years, I've seen the Packers get whooped in the regular season, so I'm not. It's typical Packers. I'm just hoping that instead of week 12 or whenever it was, it would just happen to be week 1 this year. Let's get it out of our way. And let's move on and keep chasing this ship. And like you said earlier, it doesn't seem like it's affecting the team. So I don't really give a fuck what people are saying on Twitter as long as the team knows what's going on. The coaching staff is still very trustworthy of each other, and they still know the main goal.
Yeah, these guys know. I mean, Aaron Jones isn't expecting to put out a performance like that. Davante Adams knows that, he owes everybody and the team some extra shit this week. So, super excited. I think we're going to put it on the Lions. I know we all predicted that week 1. I'm taking that right out of the equation. That was basically preseason week 4, and hopefully they got their heads straight now. The offense got, enough reps together that, okay, this is what we need to do. Saints brought in a solid defense. Traditionally the Lions, first-year head coach, they're not built on a lot of, a huge cornerstone there. They're going to try to build something which they usually never do. So
yeah, I just saw a stat today. They actually played the 3rd most minutes of rookies, and they just lost their stud cornerback from Ohio State in the second year.
Kuda.
Yeah, he's out for the year with a ruptured Achilles tendon. So, I mean, it's rough. A lot of rookies out there. That's a real tough break for them. So I expect our receivers to kind of make up in the stat category this week and get some of those numbers that they missed out on last week.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's going to suck seeing, whatever Packers talk there is on Sunday and throughout the week here. Ignore it. Just know, it's going to come together at some point here. And hopefully week 2 definitely we got to play a great game by week 3. I think the San Francisco is going to present a tough challenge. So hopefully we're starting to push it together and we put the NFL back on notice like we should have week 1. Just gonna be. It was waited a week here till week 2. So,
yeah, I'm not worried. I'll be more worried next week if kind of similar results, win or lose. If it's a low scoring shit show or a shootout, either way, I'm not going to be happy with either of those two outcomes. I'm only going to be happy with pretty much a blowout.
I hope we're not talking next week about different scenarios, what's going on, why we're not fucking living up to our expectations here. So I don't expect that to happen. We'll see everybody at Kroll's on Monday, and we'll be cheering our asses off for a Packers win there at Lambeau up in Green Bay. So it's gonna be great. September weather looks like. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to be at the next game. And hopefully next pod we got some better stuff to talk about.
All right. With that,
go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go. Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Have a good day. 41 North, bitch.